This is Mary Jane of Alaska Stories.
And this is Mike. In this edition, we're looking at how the Alaska Railroad built Anchorage, Alaska. They came to an untamed wilderness at the mouth of Ship Creek. In 1914, the United States needed coal, so the U.S. Congress passed the Alaska Railroad Act to connect the interior coal fields of the Territory of Alaska to the Alaska coast.
The mouth of Ship Creek was chosen to be the headquarters of the Alaska Railroad because of its strategic, ice-free deep waters and because it was close to the coal deposits in the Matanuska Valley. In early 1915, after the Alaska Engineering Commission, the AEC, was established, the U.S. government began advertising around the Pacific Northwest to recruit workers to build the $35 million railroad from Seward to Fairbanks.
Later, in 1915, more than 2,000 prospective workers and merchants began leaving on steamships like the Mariposa from San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle, headed for the mouth of Ship Creek in the Territory of Alaska. The ocean voyage could take weeks, depending on the steamship and ocean conditions.
As steamships arrived in Cook Inlet, dramatic tides and shallow mudflats made it difficult for passengers to depart. So passengers and freight had to be loaded from the steamers onto small boats called lighters and barges that took them as close to shore as possible.
Yes, getting to shore was tricky, and because of the mud flats, long wooden boards were used as gangplanks for unloading freight and for passengers getting off the small boats and barges. Once ashore, workers and merchants were greeted by the natural landscape of wilderness and a handful of early homesteaders.
Workers quickly began clearing the dense wilderness and setting up basic canvas tents or makeshift shelters using lumber, scrap wood, and sod. Some scavenged for material to build shanties and cabins with canvas roofs. Even though the muddy area around Ship Creek was a jumbled and unsanitary mess, it was the humble beginning of what would become Anchorage, Alaska.
Because the Alaska Engineering Commission needed the flatland around the creek to build permanent railroad yards and facilities, the settlement was relocated to the higher bluffs to the north overlooking Ship Creek. That area became known as the North Addition. Later, the federal government built a row of cottages on the top of the North Addition bluff for its permanent employees. Because of that, the area became known as Government Hill, which, later on, became the first neighborhood in Anchorage.
Hey, we're a town, and we need a name. As the population grew, the new town required a name. Those living in the tents had already begun calling it by names like Ship Creek, but the town required an official name, so they had everyone vote for their favorite.
That's right, Mary Jane, and possible names included Alaska City, Gateway, Ship Creek, Lane, after the U.S. Secretary of Interior from 1913 to 1920, Franklin K. Lane, Matanuska, Winalaska, Homestead, Terminal, and Gateway. The winner was Alaska City, with Lane a close second. Did you know that shortly after the vote, the United States Post Office had another idea? They decided that because of all the barges and boats anchored in Cook Inlet, the name of the new town would be Anchorage. Yes, the people who came to the shores of Cook Inlet and the mouth of Ship Creek were a hardy group. And we complain when it takes too long for our fast food order. Until next time, Mike and Mary Jane, Alaska Stories.